Hello everybody, you're watching Foxicalicus. Welcome back to Tiny Bunny. Excuse you. Oh, that's me. Anyway. There was a fresh-looking Volga parked nearby, with one of its front wheels perched up on the icy curb. Black like soot, as if it was straight out of the horror story Dad loved to tell me when we hid in the attic during the thunderstorm. My nose itches. I always remember him wearing a sad smile while mentioning the black car that snatched children. He would say, "It looks like a funeral car on the inside, white curtains and all. It has DSC in its license plate. Do you know what that means? Death to Soviet children. Funny. I was born in the USSR, too." A tall man was standing near the gate, puffing out clouds of smoke into the wind. He didn't look like a teacher. Was he a PE guy, maybe? "Don't look at me!" I carefully studied his face that looked like it was cut from a piece of granite, and his hair lip that was holding down a cigarette. He was playing around with car keys and staring back at us. It was us. Who was us? As far as I know, there's just me. The light from the cigarette was reflected in his eyes that were sitting deep in his eye sockets. I froze in place. The hulking man lazily tore off his eyes from us and walked toward the road. What do you mean? Ah, you tell me what I can Fascinating. Bird. Whose nest is this, I wonder? A thieving magpie? Then it probably has all sorts of shiny things in it. Pieces of colorful glass, bottle caps, polished coins, or child braces. Would a magpie just steal the braces out of someone's mouth? That's fascinating. Hey guys. A buzzing crowd of upperclassmen with their winter hats tipped to the side. I'd better not draw their attention. What are they gonna do? Huh? They're not gonna hurt you. Maybe I was a different kind of upperclassman, but I could hear muffled voices behind the doors, saw blinking lamps. Darkness creeped along the windows, and it felt like the school was drifting in open space like a lonely, lost spaceship. Hey guys. After going up to the second floor, I noticed a crowd around the notice board. Everyone was taking part in a lively discussion. I moved closer and took a look at something everyone was interested in through a wall of backpacks. There was a piece of paper with something printed on it glued to the left of the notice board. Oh, it's you. Vova Matyukin, 10 years old, grade 4. Oh. He left his home on January the 5th around 4 o'clock, and he never returned. Was last seen at the bridge over the Smorodina River. He was wearing an orange coat with a hood, black wool cap, a scarf, and mittens with green stripes. Might have had a plastic toy gun on him. 142 centimeters tall, skinny, brown hair and green eyes. Call the number. Child missing. Vova Matyukin, that was his name. A 4th grader. On that grainy print, Vova looked dead, with a black mouth and dark, empty eye sockets. Could it be that the darkness dwelling deep in the forest invaded his pores and mutilated his face? A plastic toy gun couldn't protect him from the whispering branches and the howling wind. Empty eyes of the lost boy pierced through my soul, as if pleading. Unable to meet his stare, I turned around and rushed to the window, took a seat on the windowsill. The corridor was slowly filling up with children, in groups of few. Nobody paid me any mind. In the darkness of school toilets, child voices were hammering a nursery rhyme. For the fox and for the bear, funny, tasty meals prepare. I turned my head toward them, trying to get a better look at their features, but then my attention was stolen by a loud clicking sound. A female teacher marched down the corridor, with her chin raised up high. Her heels were hitting the floor like miniature hooves. The girl was trailing her every step. It's baby Elsa. She was also looking pompous, stopping along the way and whispering some secret in her friend's ear. She was probably a class rep, since she was carrying an attendance register book. Ekaterina, take this, please." The teacher opened the classroom door, and the crowd of children swarmed in, screaming and pushing. Katerina, don't look at me like that. I will mess you up. Out of all of them, a tall, red-headed fat boy caught my attention. His face was full of blisters. He looked like the insides of a pomegranate. A bad feeling risen up the hair on the back of my head. I've seen boys like him before. Unsettled eyes, cackling laughter. The girl, who was a smaller copy of the teacher, warned the boy with a wave of her hand and entered the room through the clearing in the crowd. Some other guy stood in the way of the crowd, and the redhead immediately shoved him. Move your legs, moron. The boy flew head first, flailing his hands, trying to keep his balance. The fatso burst out laughing, and a couple of kids joined his nastily cackling. You've gross-looking teeth. The laughter sounded like someone was snipping with huge garden scissors. The classroom sucked all of the kids in. The corridor stood empty. I wanted to grow roots and stay on the windowsill. Whose hooves are those? Just a handful of lampposts outside were battling the darkness, writhing like fluorescent fish in the black ocean. Maybe I can still run away. Go outside, dissolve in the dark, become one with the forest. I imagined myself running through snow, how it squeaks under my boots, and how I'm becoming lighter and lighter with every step. Ah! The ringer's trill blew that illusion away. I tore myself from the window with great effort, and took a couple of deep breaths, trying to at least calm down my mad pulse, and entered the classroom. 204. That's ours. The prim teacher looked at me over the frame of her glasses, clearly annoyed. I'm the transfer student. I was told to come here. The snowy forest trail was winding in front of my eyes. The pines rustled, but it didn't sound predatory anymore. She buried herself in the register and flipped through the pages. Your last name? Petrov. Huh? What are you mumbling there? Say it clearly. Petrov. You're not on the list. She measured me with a long and heavy stare, as if trying to see if I was lying. I wanted to sink through the floor. Hazy faces observed all of that from the left. The classroom breathed and snorted in unison, like a living organism, like a dangerous beast. Are you sure? I don't have you in my register. My knees chose the worst time to start shaking, and I felt dizzy. I clutched my fist so hard my knuckles became white. They told me to come to the classroom 204, to ask for Lilia Pavlovna, class 6C. Apparently everyone in the classroom took my words for some sort of joke, because they were all laughing. Shut up, guys! What's wrong with you? What's wrong with this school? The classroom fell silent. The kids hid their smirks for a better occasion. Why do we hire so many interns? They all know how to put lipstick over all their bulging lips, but when it comes to real problems, I have to solve everything. How did they send you here without any proper paperwork? Ugh, we've had the same thing happen so many times already. Wait here, I'll be back. After, I have a little chat with them. The teacher flew past me, mumbling something to herself in righteous anger, and I was left standing at the center of the classroom. Oh no! Like a convict in front of a firing squad, I lowered my gaze, feeling the mocking stares from all around the classroom directed at me. They prickled my skin, danced on it like laser sights. Once again, I imagined running far away from this place, fighting the clawing wind, soaring high above the pines in one long jump, with the wind in my back as my only companion. The eyes of my future classmates were asking, this new boy, is he one of us or an outsider? Someone whispered something, and stifled laughter rolled through the classroom. Wipe the board. It was easy to guess who was the main prankster here. Hey, Four Eyes. Are you not only blind, but also deaf? Oh, this kid. I hope the fox eats you. I said, wipe the board. My knees weren't the only shaking part of my body anymore. Stand up for yourself. I was trembling from head to toe, and I prayed for the teacher to come back sooner. My prayers were answered by the powers that be. And what should I do with you now? Where will you sit? Oh well, you could sit with Semyon, I guess. He's alone anyway. No way! Please don't be him. The fatso put his backpack on the seat beside him in defiance, scratched his belly, and smirked. Are you back to your old tricks? I don't want to sit next to Semyon. Should I call your grandma here again? The classroom went silent. And what's she gonna do? I'll be the one to do something if she doesn't. Put away your backpack, now. Semyon didn't move a muscle. He started studying the portraits of writers on the wall, looking bored. I needed to do something to resolve this somehow, to save myself. I cleared my throat and continued in a stifled voice that sounded nothing like me. I can sit in the last row. I think there's a free seat. The teacher snorted loudly. She looked at me, then at Semyon, then back at me. Fine. Go there for now. And you, Baburin, I'll have a talk with you later. Come to me after classes. You'll be on cleaning duty. Got it? Semyon forced out a twisted smile. Juicy pimples were growing on the tip of the nose, ripe for the taking. I walked carefully, afraid to stumble and fall, causing another outburst of laughter for everyone. I don't know why they were laughing in the first place. It's not like I did anything. I took my seat at the back, at the last table, where I was met with a pile of old posters. The outcasts took their seat, and the class was ready to start. Now, this is settled. Let's start the class. Today's theme is Traditions of Russia and International Literature in Zoshenko's Don't Lie. What are you looking at? Fatso turned back to me. His stare informed me of the coming days, weeks, and months of bullying. I've got my eyes on you, said his watery look. Well, don't. There's nothing to see here. After just a couple of periods, I had already noticed a huge yellow spit stain in my notebook. I would go absolutely feral. Oh my gosh. I don't play with that. Then at the cafeteria, this Semyon accidentally spilled a glass of compote on me. Let's find out what this is. A dessert drink brewed from a mix of dry fruit and berries. Thanks, Glossary! Then he flailed his hands around after exiting the toilet so some of the liquid from his hands would get on me. Ah! Just before the final period for today, Semyon pushed me into a buzzing crowd of girls from our class. They made way, cursing, but I couldn't hold my balance and ended up ramming my face into the girl I took for the class rep before, right in her chest. Ow! I immediately stepped back, dying from embarrassment. I'm sorry, are you alright? Wait. I thought your name was Ekaterina. Then she suddenly put her hands on her hips. Will you look at him? Groping me in front of everyone. Are you blind? I'll tell my mom. I was shoved! They'll expel you, pervert. There was some sort of sadistic pleasure in her eyes, as if she was a child who was about to put a lit up match to the chafer beetle. I didn't mean to. He pushed me. We all saw that, you know. No blind among us. She stared at my glasses while showing me a creepy smile. I started to fume on the inside, but Semyon's laughter cooled my head. Semyon has the ugliest laughter. I pushed you? You sure? He swaggered up to me, enveloping me in the smell of sunflower seeds and rotting teeth, and then pushed me to the ground. Why? Oh, like this, huh? What you gonna do now? Stand up. The bully towered over me, as if saying, come on, hit me. Let me see you try. Hit him! Get him! Get him! Listen, you. My throat went dry, my lips were moving on their own, and my voice was akin to a stifled squeal. Semyon wore a mocking smile. Go on, Four Eyes. Why did you stop? We're all waiting. If you ever touch me again... Semyon slowly stuck out a finger and poked my forehead. Bite it. I did. So what? If you ever do it again... Here. Once more. And again. And again. And again. He was poking me with his finger so hard that my head tilted backward. I must not cry, or I'll be done for. What will a wimp like you do to me? My vision went blurry. My soul was tore off from the floor. Can I kick him? Just, rock back on my shoulder blades and boom with my heels. I think he'd be down for the count. I rushed forward through a random punch without looking. Ow. What I saw when I opened my eyes was beautiful and horrifying at the same time. Semyon was holding his ear and blinking in amazement. Was I the first person to rebel against his absolute rule? I needed to run, but I was already surrounded by his cronies. I can take on both of you as well. Lilia Pavlovna. Petrov just hit Baburin. Semyon's cheeks grew even redder and his pimples even whiter, like the heads of larvae. But a smile flashed on his face that was only noticed among his comrades. He got really close to me. The smell of rotten teeth washed over me. Back up, you are done. His voice was evil and dangerous, like someone tore off the lid from a kettle with boiling fat. I was waiting to get hit, counting the thumps of my heart and guessing where his fist will go. The solar plexus, the jaw, the nose. But he just turned around and walked off. A thought, cold and sober and extremely rational, popped up in my head. I'm going to get killed today. Maybe I shouldn't have fought back. I was late to leave the school after classes on purpose. Semyon didn't attend the last period, so I was hopeful. What if he decided to dodge the cleaning duty and ran home, forgetting all about me? I highly doubt that. I heaved a sigh of relief, like someone on death row whose execution was delayed by a day, but I didn't let myself forget his tone, his vengeful gaze, and his scary, electrified smirk. While the other students were leaving the school, laughing loudly, I was pretending to skim through my books near a window. I was staring outside, nervous. Semyon was nowhere to be found in the front yard or near the school gate. I didn't really believe I was this lucky, so I decided to be extra cautious and stayed for some more time in the corridor that was gradually getting less crowded. All of the bustle moved to the first floor. There was a skeleton peeking out of the biology classroom. Some jokester put a cap with the American condor on its head. The sound of running water was coming from the bathroom. I was the only person left in the whole school. Then who turned on the water? I'm not alone, a sudden thought came to mind. I remembered the missing boy. His portrait was on the notice board near the schedule. I remembered his smile. You look sinister now. You didn't look like that earlier. Him looking at me. And the fact that he's most likely already dead. Hello? I shuddered and turned around. Who are you? Violin player! It's a friend! At first, my eyes stumbled upon the black violin case. Then I noticed a girl from my class was holding it. Hi. She sat in the first row of the second column. I could swear I caught her looking at me a couple of times. And I was sneaking glances at her myself. Sometimes it just feels nice to look at something pretty. The spring, the sky, or a girl that's not in the crowd that laughs at Semyon's jokes. And she wasn't whispering the dirty laundry of other people to Katya. She spent all the breaks just like me, staying in the classroom or looking in the window or drawing something in her green notebook. Hello. I turned red and pretended I was studying the pattern on the wooden floor. It was cool, the way you hit him. I know it was! It was just an accident. Almost. I think we're gonna be friends, girlie. I started shoving books in my backpack, to at least put something in my hands. Semyon wasn't like that before. He also transferred here just recently. His grandma told me that it almost felt weird, that it almost felt like he went mad. Even the upperclassmen fear Semyon. Did you know? But you're different. You're brave. Mm-hmm. I mumbled in reply. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Me, brave. A hero that has been standing around in the hallway to avoid a beating. The girl looked at me with her clear, attentive eyes. Do you live over the river? In that wooden house? Yeah. How do you know where I live? It must be scary living there. And you also have to cross the forest. I wouldn't be able to do that. I shivered at the mention of the forest. The thought of intertwining branches of a snake-like trail, of endless darkness that spread like mold among the crooked trees. So I straight up lied. It's not that scary. What's so scary about it for you? She smiled after a brief pause, as if brushing off a daydream. Well, actually, never mind. My name is Polina, by the way. And I'm Anton. I already know that. Hey, Anton. She stumbled as if just trying to decide whether she should continue. What are you doing after school? My chest felt prickly after her innocent question, yet somehow it felt pleasant. Nothing much. I stumbled and didn't finish my sentence. Okay, bye. It's snowing upside down. Fabulous. Hello. Alicia's predatory smile flashed in front of my eyes. Her playful eyes and the slits of the mask were probably just a product of my imagination, though. What if that fox girl is waiting for me after the school? Or was it another of her weird jokes? I wonder if she's hiding a big red tail under her coat. I suddenly got covered with beads of sweat, like after a PE class. I wanted to take a shower, as if just thinking of the foxy girl made me dirty, soiled my clothes, lured me into the forest's embrace. You should sick her on the bully. She'd mess him up. I have a violin lesson and then I'll be free. Same. My grandpa hired me a private tutor. I don't have a private tutor. Our music teacher is a violinist, and he doesn't have anyone to teach here, except for me. Oh, that's kind of nice. I used to do one-on-one lessons, and they're very nice. She waved her free hand in the air, imitating the movement of a bow on violin strings. It's really nice having the one-on-one, because you get to know, all of the little, details, and the technical stuff. It's really lovely. I'm going on a tangent. I could almost hear the music. It chased Alicia out of my head. I looked at Polina's lips, catching her every word, and was frozen from the unusual sensations. They were warm, soothing, and tingly. I felt like I was very small, and the feelings were immense and they couldn't fit inside me. They say there's a serial killer on the loose in the village. Normally Grandpa would escort me home from school, but he's been sick lately. I snuck a glance at Vova's photo. You'd, look evil now. His eyeballs were studying me, his lips wearing black lipstick, just like the portrait on a gravestone. I mean, I'm not a coward, it's just... I think I'll be safer together with you. Will you go home with me, Anton? There it was. Finally, everything that I read about in the adventure books, everything that I dreamt about, was seeping into my life. A mysterious crime, a beautiful stranger, and a heroic duel. A duel. Thinking of Semyon instantly sobered me up, returned me back to Earth, and it started shaking under my feet like a deck of a ship. If only I could rise to the occasion in front of Polina. Because no matter how brave I was trying to act, it was obvious for both of us that I wouldn't be able to stand a chance against a big guy like that. And him knocking me out won't even be the worst of it. The worst part is that Polina will see all of that. And she'll laugh at me like everybody else. I don't think she will. No, I don't need anybody to see me in such a shameful state. She'll probably go get a teacher and save you. My dad will be able to today. Oh, no. Semyon is waiting for me outside. I need to deal with him one-on-one, like a man. Nonsense. Polina brushed off some hair off her forehead, and I sensed a weak aroma of blackberry. Polina was like water when you were thirsty. You gulp it down and still wanted more. I remembered the summer evenings at the country house, the fire's pungent smoke, the berries hanging over our fence from the neighbors, and a soft cover of pine needles under my soles. Those few peaceful days when I felt completely safe. My mom resting in the hammock, my dad putting meat on a skewer. Could I have foreseen the upcoming catastrophe in the crackle of the coals, in our parents' laughs, in the smell of the fleeting July? Could I have seen how fragile that world was? Do you really think that savage will give you a fair fight? He'll just swarm you with his friends, without giving you a chance to catch a breath. Polina suddenly flashed a devious smile. But if we go together, they will be put off. I'm not only the first violin of this village, I'm also a girl. I've heard from a delinquent I know that he'll never attack someone when there's a girl around. Can you imagine? They have this weird code of honor. A delinquent, I thought, worried. Is he better than me? Taller? More handsome? Oh, I have to go to music class. She made a couple of steps and stopped. Amazing. Polina didn't look like those beauties from the magazine posters or the actresses from the movies. But in the flickering light of the ceiling lamps, she looked much more alluring. Can you play anything? My parents bought me a guitar a couple years ago. I play that too. I play the clarinet. I immediately remembered my meager attempts at making music. Change. We're all waiting for change. Zoe's song echoed my thoughts and my desire to change something. Viktor Tsoi, singer and frontman of popular Soviet rock band. Fabulous. Died in a car accident. The guitar got lost somewhere, as if refusing to move to the old house near the forest. I think my parents gave it away to someone that needed it more. I don't, sadly. A pity. Oh well, I'll be going. Bye. You should play music. It's quite fun. Her shout was captured by the loud echo. Her shoes also echoed the school hallways. Bye. I wasn't sure if Polina heard me. I looked out the window again. The schoolyard was empty, just a couple of grade schoolers throwing snowballs at each other. Nobody who looked like the hulking Semyon with his cronies. This was giving me hope. What should I do? Polina could become my friend, the first one in this new place. And besides, she may be in real danger of meeting a killer, and I'll be her defender, her knight. And even though my inner voice was hesitant and whispered about running, away from the killers lurking in the woods at night, Polina was worth the risk. But the red, cunning fox was also intriguing. She promised me to help look for Vova, and this will bring me a reward. More money will almost guarantee peace in my family. Gifts for Olya? I imagined my sister, happy like those girls who get prizes from Soponev in the finest hour. Glossary! TV host. Teen courses as well as computer entertainment shows. Oh! Crash a snowmobile into a river pier. That's unfortunate. She'll be dancing with the famous singers. Maybe a new popular boys band like Ivanishki International. Mom and Dad hugging in the Ostankino Pavilion. And then all of us going to Disneyland. Don't make me choose!